Marissa Voss here at Ralph Engelstead Arena alongside with head coach of North Dakota, Brad Berry. Brad, thank you so much for joining the show.
Absolutely, Marissa. It's great to be here with you.
So this is your 10th season as head coach at North Dakota. Talk a little bit about your journey through those 10 years here, coaching for the Fighting Hawks.
Yeah, that's a long journey. Going back a ways, and I'm not going to date myself, but I was fortunate enough to play collegiate hockey here at North Dakota under Gino Gasparini, Dean Blaze, and John Marks. I got recruited out of a little small town in Western Canada in Alberta and got a scholarship to come play here at North Dakota. Played 3 years here, signed with the Winnipeg Jets, was a draft pick of the Winnipeg Jets. Pursued my pro career, which I always wanted to do as a little boy. Played 13 years of pro hockey, 8 in the National Hockey League. And then finally, it was time to hang up the skates after a few injuries, and it was like, what am I going to do next? And I love the game so much. And at the end of my career in playing, I was being like a mentor to the younger players, and I really enjoyed being a mentor to the next wave of pro players coming up. So I got a call from Dean Blaze, said he needed another coach on staff as an assistant. Didn't take me and my wife very long to bring our kids back to North Dakota, where I married a girl from here, which was kind of my roots.
And to, like you said, mention to a lot of there in coaching where you went to your alma mater and everything, but just talk about how much you love North Dakota and what you love about this program.
Well, the program, it's a big thing, and everybody uses the same buzzwords all the time, culture and tradition and everything, and I firmly believe it. We live it here each and every single day, and I got to experience it from a small Western Canadian kid coming into North Dakota. Really didn't know a lot about North Dakota hockey, and when you had the likes of Troy Murray and James Patrick and Dave Tippett and a lot of players that just came before me here, you quickly understand how special it is. I got to be an assistant coach here for 6 years. Went off to coach in pro to get some more experience in Manitoba Moose and Columbus Blue Jackets, but there was another opportunity to come back here, and I love pro coaching, and it helped me a lot as far as my body of work as a head coach. But for me, it was so special here. I got to come back as an assistant and now a head coach. It's something that, I love in my heart, and I wouldn't want to be any other place.
And how would you describe your coaching mentality from day to day, or has it progressed from, your first year to now?
Well, you know what? That's a loaded question, and at the end of the day, I'm happy to answer it. But I guess the identity and how I perceive myself is, one of those things where I care a lot about our players. We use the words trust and care, and I think it's a two-way street. Communication is a big deal, but you got to hold players accountable, and be firm. But you also got to be caring and nurturing, knowing that you are dealing with some young players that are going through college hockey, coming from junior hockey and high school hockey, and it's one of those things where you have to hold them accountable, and the habits and details have to be at a high level. But at the end of the day, you have to understand too that they're young kids, and there's a lot of things that are going on in their lives. So kind of a mixture, a blend of a coaching style, and then the other thing for me is you got to be ever evolving and changing. At the end of the day, as I become older, kids are getting younger when they come in here, and you have to make sure that you stay with the times and know what's going on, and your staff around you is a big thing, having a really good staff around you. So for me, it's evolving and making sure that you're changing with the times.
Now, you just passed 200 wins recently. What has been your most memorable win? And that's a pretty hard question to answer, I would think.
Well, I think the one that comes to mind all the time in my first year winning the national championship. Those are so tough to come by. At North Dakota, we won 8 of them here, and we need to get back going again here to try to win another one, which is so tough to do. And but I think that has to be number one. But I think winning we've won 5 Penrose Cups here since I've been here, and I think it's a thing where that's such a tough cup to win, or a championship to win. The NCHC, and I don't want to be biased, but I am. At the end of the day, I think the NCHC is the toughest league in college hockey, and to win a 24-game schedule of the regular season, winning 5 of those is a big deal. So again, like I said, we're all measured here by championships. NCHC championships are one thing, and national championships are the ultimate.
Now, with these facilities, we can't help but talk about it. The word mecca of college hockey comes around a lot when you talk about the Ralph and just your facilities, your weight room and everything. How much does that help you, though, recruiting-wise, to show that you have one of the best facilities in college hockey?
Well, you know what, for sure. I think without a doubt, the amenities that we have, the resources, the infrastructure that we have in and around our area is second to none. We kind of portray ourselves as a 33rd NHL team, and I know a lot of NHL teams don't have the details that we have around here. But we're fortunate and blessed to have it. The only thing is, we are in Grand Forks, North Dakota, and at the end of the day, I think there's not a lot of reasons why you don't want to play here. But at the end of the day, sometimes kids come from metro areas, or players come from different areas where they want to be closer to home. But I don't know if you'll like this or not, but we kind of attribute ourselves to like the Green Bay Packers of the NFL. Like, Green Bay has a lot of tradition and history of winning championships, but they are in Green Bay, Wisconsin. But that doesn't deviate from what they do, and it doesn't deviate from what we do as far as winning and developing players.
Now, a lot of with these teams, when you have a place like this, an arena and packed stands, they say that almost your fans in your arena are an extra player on the ice. How true is that for playing at Ralph every night?
Absolutely. They are such a home ice advantage. And I know, we use that to our advantage, right? At the end of the day, we've had a lot of success playing here and winning games in the Ralph because it feels like it's an extra player on the ice for you. But I know for the other team, it's motivating for the other team as well. Like, it might be intimidating to some degree, but it's motivation for the other team because they want to make sure that, they play at a high level to try to win a game. But for us, it is such an advantage.
So now I'm going to take you back a little bit. Scott Sandelin, I hear you have a really close relationship. You go back with him. How is that with the UMD head coach and just also having, him be in the NCHC as well?
Yeah, that's a lot of history. When I came in here as a freshman, he was a sophomore. We were both defensemen. At the end of the day, I didn't play a whole lot with him. I was on a different D pair, and he was as well. But I ended up playing 3 years with him here at North Dakota. He went and played pro. I went and played pro. And eventually we ended up playing pro together on the same team for a couple of years, which was awesome. And then eventually I kept playing. He retired a little bit earlier than I did in pro hockey, and he went back and coached with Dean Blaze and eventually in Duluth. But, he's in the NCHC. I am as well. And, we're very close friends. But at the end of the day, when the puck drops, that's where it ends.
And so going back a little bit from your journey and from Scott Sandelin to this squad this year, I don't want to look at the negatives. It's never a good thing to look at the negatives. But how do you as a coach motivate your team day in and day out to just play to who they are, play to their ability and the culture of North Dakota?
Yeah, you know what? I just alluded to having a lot of success here over the last few years. We've won the Penrose Cup for the last 5 years. We're knocking on the door winning a national championship. And this year's a little bit different. Each year is a little bit different. This one, the last 4 or 5 years we got out of the chute and got a lot of wins. This year it's been kind of up and down a bit. And, you never want to attribute to any one thing. We did get decimated with a lot of injuries, and that forces the young guys into playing a lot, getting experience where normally they would kind of just immerse into our group slowly and gradually getting ice time. Well, you know what? Our freshmen are jumping both feet in right away, playing a ton right away, and we're winning some games. And at the end of the day, that's how you get experience. And I firmly believe our second half is going to be our best, knowing that we're going to get a lot of bodies back in the lineup again, and our freshmen are going to have a ton of experience going into it.
Now, second half of season 2, who do you think on this team is going to contribute to that most? Who are the star-studded forwards, defensemen, and just overall the ones that are a big leader in the locker room area?
Well, you know what? As far as leaders that we have right now, we have a great leadership group. Some of them are out of the lineup with injury, but, when you look at Louis Jamernick, our captain, Jake Schmaltz, Jackson Kuntz, Cameron Berg, who was out of our lineup as well. We'll have all those guys back for the second half, a couple of those guys that I just mentioned that were out. Jaden Perron has taken a huge step for us. He's a guy that's on the cusp of breaking out here. He's a sophomore right now. Owen McLaughlin as well, and we've got a ton of really good players. Even the younger guys, Sasha Bover, Max Swanson, they've had really outstanding first halves for freshmen. And then you go into our D-core here. We've got 3 sophomores and 3 freshmen in our group right now that are playing, and I firmly believe that all of those guys are going to keep taking another step.